Today's video is going to be a change from what we had usually planned. See, my original group decided to cut out and play a different game. And so I and one other player, we're going to change the direction how the RPG is going to go. That's okay. Still counts as the second session, and it still counts as the same setting. Something unique is going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and run these next couple sessions, however many there are, as an experiment, essentially, in role-playing. We're going to do it this way, too, where I have my usual camera on my hand. Dice are going to be rolling here so you can all see them. The other players are not going to be on Discord. They'll be here, so they can throw dice, too. We're about ready to start a game. Let's see how this turns out. Switching over to Kyuden Kitsune. Presently, in the land of Rokugan, in the year 1268, on one side of Rokugan, at the Shinden-Chukan, beneath the Morning Glory Castle, we have the Go tournament is finishing up. And it was something that Matsuichi was never fully invested in. Now, the interesting thing about the Go tournament is it is a bit of a spectacle. There's just the one Go table in the middle of the room. Everybody else is gathered, not around it. There's enough space. They give plenty of space for those two players to walk in the center. Orochi's going to be one of the players. And then, of course, you have the Dragon Clan girls, another player. And then there's a Phoenix Clan Shigenja. And then one of the two Lion Clan girls made it to the finals as well. One at a time, they're going to have the boys fight, the Shigenja and Orochi. Then they're going to have the two girls fight. And then the winner of that is going to face off against each other. And that will decide the tournament. On top of the fact that they're still going to worry about points and stuff like that. However, when it comes to this, people have pretty much figured out who the real, sharks in this ocean are. It's not something you're really invested in. You're it's like they're playing Go, and Mogami's like, well, Orochi, the time has come for you to go in and prove your mettle. Let's see about taking this one on. You're actually kind of thinking you could just sit back if you really want to, or look at other people. The fact that you really don't have anything to do while they're going through this Go tournament, and it started. The first one's going first. There's actually Dragon Clan girl versus the Lion Clan woman, even ladies first kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, though, it's a paced match with trying to do their best moves, so you're getting bored. And it just so happens, it seems right to you at some point to just take a seat back in one of the corners. They have long, they're not couches, they're like long stools. You've seen the type before, right? They're really long stools. They're not really a couch. Matsuichi can easily put his back up against a wooden wall and, take a quick rest. Matsuichi finds himself nodding off to sleep during the Go tournament. However, that's not the most interesting of things. You find yourself suspended in space, like a starfield. Mm-hmm. And as you're looking around, there appears to be some kind of presence near you. You can't really put a finger on it. There's some presence near you. This voice, probably a woman's voice. Maybe it's a mature woman's voice. You're not sure. It's not a voice you recognize. You've not heard this voice before. But this voice says, "Your presence is required elsewhere." And you've got this really weird feeling of dropping. You've been suspended in space, and all of a sudden, you're falling. You have no idea what's going on. This has got to be a dream or something, and you're still going to be waking up. Go ahead and roll a, willpower, and do you have any kind of, what kind of spiritual type skills do you have? If you don't worry about it.
I do have meditation.
You have meditation?
Yep.
Go ahead. That's great, actually. Willpower plus meditation. And roll it right here.
So
Matsuichi's roller.
Where's mine? So it's number plus number.
Keeping
higher.
your stat.
Cool.
So willpower is going to be whatever it is.
Okay.
And your willpower is 2, right? No, 3. You've got a good willpower.
Yep. That's Earth.
Looks like you've got a 7, an 8, and a 10 if you want to max those out, and you get to re-roll one because of the 10.
You get to reroll 1, so let's reroll the lowest. So I keep 3 and then the extra back.
Yes.
So
Well, essentially, this counts as a 15 now. Sorry for touching your dice, by the way. Sorry about that.
fine.
That's a 15.
Plus 15. So 30.
Yeah, exactly. So 30. That's great, actually. You have got wonderful self-control through this. You're actually able to get a grasp on a few sensations before you wake up. You notice that you can kind of feel your body. You know how in a dream you kind of are like flopping around, you can't really feel like you're doing anything? You can feel your body. You actually have control of your body, and so that registers on your mind. Secondly, you think there's like some kind of ground coming up, and you realize there's nothing down here. And when you wake up, you kind of roll up onto like in like a sitting position with like, you know, your knees and feet splayed about, and your hands kind of balancing. And you are in grass in a wood. And it's cold, but not snowing. It's cold outside. And there are things moving near you. I'm going to give you this perception roll because why make you roll for it? You'll see it eventually. The idea is how soon. Walking through the forest are foxes. And a lot of the foxes will walk by you, turn their head and look in your direction, and the way their head is posing isn't very animal-like. It's much more sentient than that. Very shortly, a fox will walk up, a rather large fox with like gray streaks through their fur. They're still kind of half hidden in bushes, but this fox is kind of peeking out from beneath 2 bushes and looks in your direction and looks back in another direction. From your opposite shoulder, you hear, "Yes, this is fine. I have no idea, but if he's coming here, here he is." And looking in that direction, there is another fox. This one, you can tell, obviously has 7 tails. The foxes have this kind of looking back and forth. You hear some fox, chirping and, gong gong sounds. You've done fine as far as like in arriving without, going into like a weird fit. You also realize something. This is not where you once were. Pretty obvious. This is not where you once were. You can run off on your own, essentially, follow the foxes, try to communicate with the foxes, and get a certain option out of them. You did hear one of them speak Rokugani.
Which is abnormal, yeah.
Very abnormal, yeah. Foxes don't speak Rokugani normally.
Well, Matsuichi is both still skeptical, even like he feel it like with his willpower was able to, be present. Mm-hmm. He's delighted because he's heard stories, but he never expected to experience them. Like one of the reasons he set out on his journey was to test legends and stories and lore. But as he looks around and like gets the feeling that this isn't a dream, he'll probably just take a moment to like watch what's going on with the foxes, since it seems that they know more about what's going on than he does. And from legends and stories that he's heard, he's pretty certain that he's here for a reason. He doesn't want to offend these supernatural beings which know this terrain much better than he does. However, he does want to make sure that he is armed.
Okay.
Is he still in his like party uniform?
That's the funny thing. You're still in the same uniform you were in when you started the Go tournament. Now, the Phoenix clan had something different they were doing that other clans do in Rokugan, where they put your swords aside when you walk into a room. So you may or may not have your swords with you. Yeah. One of the foxes is doing a vertical trot on one side, and the fox does like the pointer dog thing where they kind of just stand on 3 legs and point with their nose and one paw. Some of the foxes start going off in one direction. You notice something, and it's something you get for free because you're taking your countings. There's something very strange about your flesh right now. You kind of seem relatively like thick but ghost-like. You're very ghost-like right now, but you're getting less translucent as you're looking at your hands and your sleeves, but you're kind of translucent right now.
Okay, so I might not actually be here.
Some of the foxes are pattering off in one direction.
For a reason, I'll follow tentatively the foxes. I will travel at my own pace. I'm not going to be chasing after them. I'm going to take it slow. If I lose sight of them, that's fine. If there's snow on the ground, I should be able to like follow the tracks.
There's no snow. It's cold, but no snow. The foxes aren't doing much to hide right now, and there are some that are still with you, and there's some that have went off in one direction. It's really weird. You had to come up from where you were. No, up. No, you came down from where you were staying to go to the Go tournament, right? So when you arrive at where the foxes are, you see that there are bundles and katanas and wakizashi up in some trees. The foxes are climbing to get taken care of, and it doesn't take very long for you to realize your stuff came with you for some damn reason. It looks relatively translucent too, but as the foxes are handling it, it solidifies relatively quickly. And weirdly enough, by the time the foxes bring down your bag, the extra swords, your extra kimono, your old kimono, all this stuff comes back down to you. You're actually looking almost like a little bit like you're decolored, slightly black and white, slightly colorized, depending. But literally, you're no longer translucent. You look more real.
All right. I'll take the time to get into to dress in travel clothes. I'll just have the current. Yep, no manners. Just gonna dress my armor over the nice kimono rather than switch it to my travel hakama.
Okay. Cool.
Which will ruin the kimono, but at this point, I'm not too concerned about the clothes.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming you're going to pretty much follow the foxes then.
Yes.
Okay. The foxes lead you to a castle that is mostly made of stone, which is unique. Most Rokugani castles are made of a stone bottom, the stone foundation. It's pretty much wood up for the most part. Pottery tiles. Sometimes stone tiles, but usually pottery.
Like Edo Castle?
Yeah, most Japanese castles are made that way.
Okay.
This castle is mostly made of stone, where the actual outer walls actually are made of cut and fitted stone.
Can I use my knowledge of engineering to see if I can identify which clan this castle may have been?
Yes, actually. Do you have anything like history or bard or no?
I have engineering.
You can use engineering and intelligence to see where it gets you.
All
I think it's 3 dice keeping 2.
3 dice keeping 2.
Go ahead.
Alright, so it's going to be 8 and a 4. It's going to be 12 total.
12. You are batting 0 for a little bit. But then, as you're looking at this castle, they're leading you to what looks like a side door. And there is a moan on the door. The moan is of the image of a fox.
Is it the same fox with the Kitsune clan?
It looks like it's the Fox Clan moan, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of miss it on the building itself, but the door has a moan on it. So you're good as far as that's concerned. As you arrive at the castle, you are not with... You were with 3 to 5 foxes earlier. Now you're with 1 to 3 people. One of which looks human. The other one is packing ears in a very strange location. Their kimono has a very interesting cut to it. The kimono was designed almost patchwork style, but on a weaver. They're not communicating the way you're expecting Rokugani to communicate. Where you'd make introductions and stuff like that. They just kind of brought you here, and they just motion towards the door.
Well, yeah, I nod and towards the door. I understand that there are retainers assigned to escort as well as aid guests.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the actual people that you address, politely.
Yeah.
To. So I enter into the castle. I don't need to address them, and it doesn't seem that it is their duty to address me other than to guide me here.
Yeah, exactly the point. Also, you're getting the impression that they act differently than Rokugani do.
They might not know how.
You might not know how, you're right. So inside the castle, without just going through the idea that, congratulations, you're now at the Fox Clan Castle, you do get introduced to a samurai. Go ahead and just roll a dice at random. There's a bunch of people here. How many touch? Looks like a 6 to me. At random, so there's a human bushi wearing kind of fox-colored uniform that you come across. And this guy, he introduces himself by the name of Shigemari, and he says, "Welcome to Kyuden Kitsune. I have heard that there was going to be a samurai arriving unexpected, but we usually don't receive news like this. I hope your journey was comfortable."
I would agree that my arrival was very unexpected.
Lady Miyuki said something about that you would be arriving. But then again, Lady Miyuki was speaking on behalf of someone else. And he says, "Come." And so, cutting down some time, he brings you to a room. There is a Phoenix Clan guy there. There is an older Lion Clan guy there. They're both in standard kimono. The one Phoenix Clan guy, he actually has more blue on his kimono than the fire colors, actually. and he's got shorter hair. Shorter hair, right? Okay. And then the Lion Clan guy, the older Lion Clan guy, he's got a bit of salt and pepper going on, but for the most part, the guy has a standard samurai haircut. He's just, essentially chilling out, so to speak. And you guys have been brought in. He says, I am Kitsune Shigemari, and this is Akoto Morinari. He's actually the Lion Clan ambassador to the Fox Clan. And here is a guest of ours who's come down from the north. Asako, was it?
Asaka Kyoko. Do they do first name or last name first?
The last name always comes first in most Asian societies.
Call me Matsuichi.
T?
Matsuichi. Oh, T? Yes.
T.
Sorry. Yes.
There's a bit of a casual look from the other two. He says, well, your timing is impeccable. We're going to be starting Winter Court in 3 days. Matsuichi, tell us about your journey or what you were doing that brought you here. Going back, though, he asked you just to be cordial, but then you realize you're in a situation where your information isn't complete.
I think it's a bit difficult to explain what happened, but I suppose that dreams were involved.
I guess Lady Miyuki's up to some mischief, is she? The lion just kind of spreads out his arms and says, I am not very familiar with your other families of the Fox Clan. He kind of bows a little bit just to notice that he's showing a bit of respect, but he just kind of sits back and drinks more tea. Shigenari says, well, we'll have a servant come by, and it won't be a very large room, but we'll have a guest room for you. We have a few open rooms, but very shortly they will be holding a guest dinner where you can at least have some rice and rest after your journey. Shigenari is going to leave the room. Honestly, if you guys want to talk amongst each other and discuss a few things, you can, but 3 days hence is when things are going to start happening. I'm making you arrive at the castle so far. That's really all that happens so
I'm going
far.
to pull out my go set and offer anybody a game.
I decline. Although, I do have a peculiar question, if I may ask.
Yes.
Which castle is this?
Kyuden Kitsune. The player asking her is...
No, Matsuichi is
Matsuichi
asking.
Matsuichi is asking. Okay. Morinari just leans in and says, it is the castle of the fox, Kyuden Kitsune. Mm-hmm. And it is one of the most relaxing castles I've ever been in. The architecture is somewhat odd since it's all stone. Well, the roof is tile and wood, but still, it's a very unique castle. I'm very glad to have spent my last several years of winter ambassadorship here at Kyuden Kitsune.
I was going to say, structurally speaking, it's probably a stronger castle than a standard one.
Unless there's like a severe earthquake, but yeah.
Yeah.
What does shake during an earthquake? And Rokugan is just like Japan, shit tons of earthquakes. Mm-hmm. So 3 days hence, there's plenty of people in here. Yogo Jotaro is here. And so you and him have spoken. There is a Scorpion Clan contingent at this castle. There is a Unicorn Clan contingent at this castle. They're relatively small. Well, there's actually a relatively large Crane contingent. There's about 10 people, not including servants. But that Crane contingent... the Lion contingent is relatively small. There's just the guy you met 3 days ago. A younger guy that looks not to be his son. Looks like someone he's teaching, like a student of his. And then there is a young woman that has she looks like a lion. She's got like the sharp eyes and the diamond shaped face and like the long thick black hair. So there's other clans here. The Fox clan kind of dresses in a weird combination of orange and then earthy natural colors. Sometimes there's a stripe theme or like a spot of black or white here and there, but not always guaranteed. The fun thing about the Fox clan is that they are a much more rustic clan. They are very traditional though, so unlike in the Phoenix clan where things were a bit more casual, things are very much in order here. Like the daimyo would sit in this spot, and his wife would sit in this spot, and the karo of the castle would sit in this spot, and the hatamoto would sit here, and then the guests would sit here. you get that kind of thing to be going on. You are pretty much the only Phoenix here right now.
I figured.
It happens. Then again, Phoenix is far north. There are no dragons here right now. There are no Dragon Clan samurai. So
That's odd, but not unusual.
it's considering they're on the other side of the nation. Yeah. Cute and Kitsune, do either of you guys want to roll intelligence to know where you are on the map compared to where you were recently, or do you guys kind of feel you are geography people? Because I know both of you guys have calligraphy, so you guys are used to writing.
I was going to say I've got both calligraphy and history.
So don't even roll. This is something you know. Cute and Kitsune is a southern castle.
I'll make a silly attempt, but
Go ahead.
I likely will not succeed.
All right, let's see how this runs.
It's definitely something I would like to figure out. Alright, so I have calligraphy. Is it? So
You're relatively well educated. There is a random chance you may have actually... So pick that dice there. I don't know how well that dice rolls for you. But roll that and keep your intelligence.
this die.
No, all of that and keep
All
your
that.
intelligence. Go ahead.
So I keep 2. That is a
14. Not good enough for amazing, but you've gotten the basics. Kyuden Kitsune. The castle itself you're lost on, but you know that Foxlands are underneath. Was it Crane Lands? Was it Scorpion Lands? Was it Lion Lands? It's underneath one of the other bigger clans' lands. And you'll probably have a fridge moment and you'll think about it when this meeting is done for. But as of presently, you're kind of stuck on it going, I'm not sure. Now, how is this laid out? The daimyo. The daimyo is actually a new daimyo. You hadn't arrived at that point. But you heard that, like a month ago, the new daimyo was coronated. The old daimyo was honestly pretty much long in the tooth. And what's really funny is they keep referring to the daimyo as Yamagi-san or Yamagi-sama, depending who's saying the words. And so, there's a new daimyo named Yamagi, but there is one little detail everybody's leaving out for some stupid reason. So the daimyo is sitting in one position, and there's the Karo has come out first. The Karo is the most trusted samurai in the castle, essentially. Not a captain of the guard. In recent Rokugan times, a lot of Karos have been appointing captains of the guard to watch over actual castle security, while Karos kind of perform head Hatamoto duty. Magistrate management duty then gets passed on to the Yoriki position. That's how the ranks go. You have a daimyo. Then they usually have Hatamoto underneath them, of which the most trusted are the Karo and the Yoriki. But those often are also given semi-civilian duties, whereas Hatamoto are essentially war staff. And then you have different samurai just piling down from there. Rokugan is very structured, but it's not guaranteed to follow a strict set of patterns, nor is it extremely organized all the time. So you have that set up, and then in the front rows, you actually have the various different Hatamoto lining up facing the daimyo. And then most of the guests are then to the flanks and behind the actual Hatamoto samurai. The Kitsune clan, they have a good, they have 100 samurai. So when you go into the main room, which is large enough to essentially, play a sport in, there's a dais on one end, and there's plenty of stone columns to the ceiling. But there's a good 100 samurai of the Kitsune clan packed in the center. And then, of course, the different contingents of the clan are like little columns on the side, with you, Matsuichi, being seated next to you, Kyoku. The daimyo walks in, and...
Before the daimyo walks in,
Yeah.
I'm going to lean over
Yes.
and ask, how much do you think of this is their combat strength for the clan?
Well,
Because it seems a little overblown to me.
I feel if I were to enter into the scrap right now, I'd be in trouble.
Oh, that's a given.
But I would be honestly a little surprised if this was their full strength. Well, it is a small clan, so they could be trying to show it as a way to impress other the larger clans.
That's
Could be either way.
I'm just kind of curious on this.
Good point there. So Kyoku had a point there. Daimyo walks in, and your first impression is kind of the wrong impression, but you also realize, it takes your head a second to realize, okay, this is what we're dealing with. dressed in the traditional clothes that a ruling man would be dressed in, the white vest and everything. Very feminine, good-looking face. And it takes a while if you realize what you're looking at here is top-of-the-line Rokugani tomboy, essentially. The hair is not cut, by the way, nor done anything weird like that, but it's just pulled back and let flow. She has just a bright orange vest with white trim on it. Walks to the center between, turns to everybody else, bows a little bit. Everybody, does Ray level bowing, because usually you're seated at this point. She backs up 3 stages to the daises, turns, walks up the dais, turns around, nods once more, and takes a seat at the high point. The Mantis clans actually have plenty of people there in the front with the Kitsune clan, because guess what? The Kitsune are part of the Mantis. They're part of the Mantis, and they have been, even though the Mantis kind of survived being destroyed recently. The Kitsune have been told to join the Mantis as of certain incidents happening in the past. They spend a good 15 minutes going through various different introductions of the leaders of the different other clans. Like Yuchi Toramon is the Unicorn Clan ambassador. He's a Shigenja and is very, he offers up a very small gift to it's like a box of something. He offers up a gift to the Fox clan. One of the Hatamoto comes in and takes it. And brings it to the side of the daimyo. The daimyo looks it over. The daimyo says, "It's a very exquisite package. Are you sure you don't want to part with it?" And the way she speaks, you can tell this woman has a very elocutionist way of speaking. She's on the young side, too. By the look of it, she can't be any older than you guys are. And, of course, Yuchi Toramon offers the gift again. She kind of says, "If you really wish to offer the gift, I can understand your feelings, but this seems too exquisite for such a humble place as us." And the third time he offers the gift, and at that point, Yamagi bows her head and says, "Then I will accept it. Thank you very much for your token appreciation." And she, of course, passes it off to, there appears to be like a senior servant there, dressed in orange, off to one side. Ichi Toramon introduced himself.
Oh, he was from the Lion Clan group?
Unicorn Clan.
Unicorn Clan. And what was the name?
Yuchi Toramon. Tora like tiger. Mon like, a symbol.
Cool.
The leader of the Scorpion clan, because there's the funny thing, there's 2 Scorpion guys who seem to be making note. There's one guy that you guys have seen multiple times over the last couple days who's a very serious dude. This guy has always come off as being a very straight shooter in conversation. A lot of Scorpion guys like to play games. This guy has a bit more of a different attitude to himself. His mask is a very simple animal motif cloth that goes over the nose and ties behind his neck. But for the most part, he's also got a very large scarf that's kind of the same thing, so he kind of stands out. Long flowing black hair, paler skin than normal. You're not quite sure of the guy's name. You've heard it. You haven't remembered it yet, but this man steps up. His name is Shoshiro Toshiro. Shoshiro Toshiro is one of the magistrates in the lower Scorpion provinces. And he comes up and he makes his presence known. And he doesn't offer any gifts. He just says, "I hope, as members of the Mantis and as wardens of your realm, that you shall do your best to follow Imperial Edict, and that you shall do your best to uphold the traditions and laws of Rokugan, even in these times," he says. And the way he says that is just very odd, because you would expect a samurai to do that kind of thing. He bows slightly, the kind of bow that you would give if you were actually in charge. The daimyo actually nods back as a result of that. There's a bit of stiffness between the two as a result of that. Then the Scorpion Clan guy goes back to his pace. The last guy to stand is someone that you kind of expect to stand up at this point. The samurai in front of you is actually fidgeting. He's a moto. He's one of the Unicorn Clan guys. He's like, "There's nothing to do but sit here and listen." He says it very quietly. And
Count sheep.
a Mantis Clan guy. You know this guy relatively well. His name is Yoritomo Kaneka. He's a pretty standard samurai. He's got a pretty impressive beard, actually. He's got white wings through his hair. Yoritomo Kaneka does have a train of Mantis, a woman who is a Shigenja of the Mantis Clan with him. He steps up and says, "Well done, Yamagi. You've made it into being head of one of the better families. of the Mantis clan. He says with kind of like this odd tone to his voice. And Yamagi looks back and says, interesting. I've always thought that the Yoritomo was the mightiest of clans and definitely the best. I wouldn't say anything poor of the Tsuruchi or the Moshi or any other lesser clan that has stepped in. Even the Mogai, despite the Mogai's strange point of view. Kaneka speaks and says, my words may not be the best, but I mean them honestly. And in return, Yamagi motions and stands up and says, today's going to be a very special day. And Kaneka kind of just sits back and kneels a little bit. Just because he's keeping a very straight back. Yamagi steps down from the dais and steps onto the same floor where everybody else is. Yes. And she motions with her hand and says, today's going to be a very special day because this is the day that I reach out to my brothers of the Kitsune, be you of the Fox clan, carrying the name Kitsune, or have you blood of ancients in your veins. Long have we served the Mantis. We have always brought forth the best we can of our resources and the best of our skill and ability to serve the clan. We are here in our forest, in the lands of Rokugan, and the Mantis clan are powerful sailors who rule the seas. I really like the Mantis clan. They're good people and they've always treated us well, even if we have been the most distant of the families. The daimyo raises her hand and says, it is my intention to announce that from this day forth, the Fox clan shall exist again. We mean no ill will with the Mantis, but from this day forth, we will no longer carry the Mantis Mon as our superiors. We would love to hold you as allies, should you wish to be so. She's of course looking at Kaneko when she says that last part, and it still has her hand motioned out to the rest of Fox. As a result of this happening, everybody, pretty much make a willpower roll. See how you've contained your reaction. The moto in front of you literally says the Rokan equivalent of, nani wa fuck?
Willpower what? Imagination?
No, just willpower. I'm not looking for an extreme roll. Just, roll some dice and we'll see how well you react to the news. But it's probably going to be 3 dice for you, 2 dice for you. Okay, let's a 10 and a 2?
Yep.
We roll that 2 and add it. So an 18. So you're in control of yourself. Just to see if you can maintain composure in this weird time. Ooh, you're having an issue. Not a bad issue, but you're like, what?
The sad thing is, I guess that as soon as she stepped down, she was going to declare.
You know what's funny? You've realized something. Go ahead and roll an additional dice. Nice.
19.
So, a nice happy 19. Good. A few nights ago, what was happening as far as you're concerned?
Oh, at this castle?
At the castle of the Morning Glory. The Shiden-Chukan.
Oh, I was looking for intrigue at
Yes.
the castle. Didn't find any.
Yeah, you're looking, but... Yeah.
Surprised because I was mostly asleep during most of this, expecting nothing to happen, and realizing, oh, wait, something is happening.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I will give it to you because you rolled high enough. It dawns on you now. It was feeling cold, but there was no snow yet. Just a day ago, it was feeling cold, and the snow had left. There was that one last morning, right, when there was that last pattering of light ice and snow. I should have really called it like a flurry of light snow, but it pretty much just whitened the ground a little bit. You realize something. You finished Winter Court in Asako lands, and now Winter Court is beginning again. You remember hearing the news.
That quickly?
Think about it.
You probably just went back in time.
You have time traveled. You are at the Winter Court now, where the Kitsune are declaring their independence.
Ain't that a fact?
And the funny thing about it is that it dawns on you, you're going to suddenly have to sit through 2 Winter Courts. Oh my God, I hope there's intrigue here.
Yep. Oh, there is.
And it dawns you again, oh my God, Saguaro is now thousands of miles away.
Oh, much further away.
And so you're like, oh, you're having multiple moments of, oh damn.
What's going on with Saguaro?
What?
Right side.
He has a friend he has a communication with called named Sawaro, and Sawaro is an engineer.
Well, the bright side. Would make for an interesting letter.
That's a positive note there.
Mm-hmm.
Dear buddy, I just went back in time.
Accidental time travel here. Kaneka stands up and looks over at Yamagi. The look on his face is one of, well, what can I say? He essentially just got told off. Essentially. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I thought he was doing better than that. You can tell this guy is on the verge of controlling something. He stands there and says, would you care to explain yourself in a bit more depth? Yamagi opens her hands wide and says, need I? We are the most remote family. We've never really been part of the Mantis clan. We have our forest here. You have your seas beyond. I mean, the same could be said of the Wasp, but the Wasp are coastal. They live in those mountains near the coast. The Centipede clan, before they became the Moshi family, they were on the coast as well. They had their Valley of the Centipede, but it was still a coast. We are here, far from any shore. It is even 2 days down the river, at the best speed. Even then.
Am I still the only Phoenix representative here?
Yeah, you still are.
Oh dear God.
The good news is you have friends. You've kind of made a new friend. I don't know how close you guys have gotten. You know he doesn't play Go. And you figure out he doesn't play Go either, but he likes it.
Yep.
I like it. I just don't
knowing
play
that,
with
I'd
it
play
now.
Go, and we'd have some terrible games.
Oh yeah, you saw that one old Lion Clan guy knock him around like he was a kid's toy. It was pretty bad.
And I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yes, you did. As Yamagi has spoken, Kaneka comes back and says, it is not my position to make any decisions, but I must carry this news to Yoritomo Domeki and announce that you have spoken. I have nothing more to say. And Yamagi says, I do not wish you ill. I do not wish any of the Mantis ill. But it is only natural this happens. I hope in the future we may still be allies. Kaneka says... Shit! Okay.
Not likely.
Kaneka says, I've never liked you much anyway. He turns on one heel and marches out the other door. Not the side doors that you respectfully come in. He goes out the one where you would leave to go out into the courtyard.
I'm literally face palming going.
The Mantis get up and leave with one interesting thing.
Blind guy.
Shit, yeah. That's a 19 right there. So, one of the Mantis he has like a vest that shows more. It's a short vest. He's got basic tall T-Wisp ponytail. He holds his hand out and the rest of the Mantis delegation's leaving. And he stands up and he says, Brethren, there has to be at least someone here. There are 3 other women who haven't left yet. And they're all wearing kind of like the same kind of coloration that he is. You notice that the Mon on his shoulder is slightly different than the one he wears on his back, which is the Mantis Clan Mon. Mm-hmm. He holds out, anyone? And of course the Mantis Clan delegation, like the 17 there were, 17 people just walk out that door after Kaneka. He stands there alone with these 3 women that are dressed similar to the way he is, near his feet. They're still kneeling. He stood up at this point. He looks at everybody. He looks back over at Yamagi. He looks down at his feet. He whispers something. Go ahead and perception if you really want to hear it. If you really want to hear it. If you don't have to. But he whispers something under his breath.
I'm just curious about what he's actually saying.
13.
13? 13's nice enough.
So, why did I put a D8 in there?
Don't worry. We'll accept a 5. It's actually one of your higher rolls. There's a D8 in there. And it's one of your higher rolls. Check this out. D8 right there. A D8. And it's actually one of the higher rolls. 4, 4. He rolled like a 2 to get a 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Higher roll was a 5 off of a D8. What you got? What again?
13 total.
13. And what did you get total again?
21.
He pretty much, just cursed under his breath. He's like, of all times, damn it all.
Actually, I'm going to make a political move here. I'm going to stand up, walk over, and sit next to him.
He's standing, right?
He is standing right now.
Yeah. I know. I'm going
Now,
to.
by the way,
I'm going to move my position over.
roll. What's going on? Roll intelligence plus.
There's courtier. There's etiquette.
You have 2 dice of history or 3 dice of history.
3.
Roll 1 dice of history.
Okay. So
You have enough history knowledge; it'll slightly reflect onto your intelligence here. What'd you get?
keeping 3 of these.
Yes.
So 18.
18. You may want to hold off just a little bit. You can rise to your knees essentially and get ready to move. Timing is everything, and right now, this guy has obviously been thrown into a pile of shit, and right now it's between him and Yamagi. You can sense that. But the good news is that if you want to make your move, you can.
I just want to make sure he knows he's not alone.
He turns and says, "My name is Suruchi Magoichi, and I will stay here as the Mantis ambassador, even though I am not qualified. I cannot apologize for what my brethren have done. It makes all the sense in the world. But I will be here nonetheless." Yamagi is standing there she looks relatively clear-minded, like there's some kind of strange idealistic thought going through her head. And at this point, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I'd get up and go over and sit next to him. Polite bow, sit next to him where he was sitting.
Because it's empty now.
One, it's empty now. 2, I am probably acting as the Phoenix representative because I'm the only Phoenix member here.
Yeah.
And I'm showing, hey, you know what? Somebody has to support you. I will. Even if it's a bad position you're put in.
You do that. The Scorpion take a look at this, and you can tell all of the Scorpion are looking at you. One of the Scorpion is not looking at you with any kind of negative looks. Jotaro is not going to give you shit. And there's that one guy who's the real hard ass I described earlier. He's not giving you any hard looks either. It's a very calm, cold, clear look. You go up and step down. No one else copies what you've done. But you have.
So as far as everybody knows, I have to throw the entire Phoenix clan behind this guy. But at the same time, it's more of a, dude, you just stuck your neck out. You need somewhere to hide.
Yeah.
If you need somewhere to hide, you have it.
So you're essentially backing the guy up just in case shit really hits the fan.
Yes. Well, let's be honest. I'm not really a fighter, so...
Yeah. He actually bows in respect to you, a good, 25-degree bow. He kind of has the floor, but he doesn't have the floor because he was, he did what he did. He looks back at Yamagi. Yamagi nods and says, "Magoichi, I accept this. You will be welcome at this castle. Any mantis is welcome at this castle, assuming things don't change." One of the other samurai gets up. It's something weird, by the way. It is a samurai, has ears on top of his head, so he's not exactly a human member of the Fox clan. He walks over to where Yamagi is and actually bows to a knee and says, My lady, I understand why we do this, but why so bluntly?"
A sharp wound, less pain. I actually will say it.
Yamagi looks in your direction for just a bit, then looks back to the samurai that stepped forth. "This is the Mantis clan we were part of. Not the Crane clan, not the Scorpion clan, not the Lion clan. If anybody can handle news like this, it's going to be the Mantis."
Now, at least this wasn't Lion where there was immediate bloodshed.
Yeah, tell me about it. You are not part of anybody's delegation,
Nope.
Matsuichi. Mm-hmm. You have, weirdly enough, sided with the last remaining Mantis, as weird as that sounds. However...
Something my clan would do.
Yeah, it is something your clan would do. There is a lot of hubbub, but it's one of those things where Yagami is trying to essentially calm people down and says, Everyone, we have more to discuss. Please." One of the Scorpions stands up and says, "The Mantis have been suffering as of the last 100 years. This is a very interesting move as it potentially deprives them of some well-needed extra hands." Yamagi says, "I will still come to their aid if they ask. The Kitsune are the Kitsune. And the Mantis live on the waves.
That's where we're at, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's funny because according to lore, Kyuden Kitsune is in the forest, but according to every last damn map,
It's right outside it.
it's outside. Looking at this, this is a secondary map. All the maps I've seen have the Kitsune Mori here, and then Kyuden Kitsune is behind the forest down here, closer to Crane and Crablands.
Politically speaking,
Where's the disposition of the Lion Clan contingent here?
Looking in their direction, they're looking pretty stoic right now. There's like what I described. There was like what 3 of them.
Yeah.
There's 3 lions here. If everybody else is up in a storm, they are like a rock for some reason. They are just handling this extremely well. The scorpions are buzzing. The cranes are buzzing. The cranes are buzzing like
They always buzz.
They always buzz. Yeah. They might as well be the bee clan for all they're worth, right? The unicorn are the ones closest to you, and so you can hear what they're saying. You are in a more interesting spot right now. Kyoku has gotten the attention of the 3 women that are sitting next to Magoichi. Magoichi, of course, still pointed at Yagami. The smallest and probably the most smug of the 3 women kind of leans in and says, I don't know where you're going with this one, but I hope the very best for you. We will gladly accept your help, although I don't think it's going to be that necessary.
neither do I. But if you need a safe harbor, you have one. It took great integrity to do what he's doing. That should not be thrown away.
One of the other girls says, talking about safe harbor with the Mantis clan. Now that's a pun. He looks down and says, thank you. As you've heard, I'm Magoichi. Who are you?
Asako Akakyoko.
He bows and says, well, they've left. There's going to be plenty of wine for you if you'd like it. We can all lose this memory together.
I shall fortify it. A little herbs in my wine.
Yeah. Wine hasn't been served yet. You're in formation, essentially, and then from that formation you may be dismissed, or they will bring out like entertainment. Like if they're serving wine, usually the servants will come out in the center and then go down the rows and pass out the wine that way. So
I'll drop a sprig of rosemary in mine.
cool. On your side, on Matsuichi, you're there with. He's moved over there with the unicorns in front. But the one guy turns to the other and says, "If they split off like this, it sends a very strong message, especially since the Mantis aren't on their best legs right now. I mean, they've got good leadership and they've always got good warriors, but the Shigenja raises a few fingers and says, let's watch. We are unicorn, but right now let us be a little bit on the cautious side."
I'm going to insert into their conversation really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, the lion being very stoic as usual, even in the face of a tidal wave.
The motor guy turns back and says, I wasn't even looking at them. I mean, there's so few of them. I'm not. The scorpions are being a bit too quiet, and the cranes are saying too many different. Generally, there's a bunch of different things being said over in the crane side, and it's all like a low to medium whisper, so to speak. It doesn't sound like they have like a fortified point of view over there. The Shigenja turns over and looks at you and says, "Sharp eye. The Lion Clan. It might be good to speak with them afterwards and see where they stand in all this. However, there's one thing we're also missing." And the motor looks at him and says, "The Mantis are leaving. They're going somewhere. Where could they go? Winter's coming. Winter's going to be here soon." And the Shigenja says, "Well, there is a nearby coast."
Nothing says they can't hop on a boat. It's only 2 days river ride down. 3 if you're taking your time.
Yeah, exactly. The Shigenja looks up and says, "Let's meet with the lion afterwards and see what they say." But truly, the response from the Mantis, when we finally get news from the Mantis, is going to really determine what goes on here.
It's interesting to discuss with them the results of the Morning Glory Castle Go game. Like, I say that...
Facetiously?
No, in a way that it's peculiar since the results of that tournament haven't been announced yet. Right? The results aren't announced yet.
Yeah.
Not even the finals.
Yeah. In fact, technically, you are 2 months and 3 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yep.
So if you wanted to suddenly be gifted with prophecy, you could be.
Make a killing on the betting market.
There's this dragon girl. Don't fuck with her.
Or do, and pay the consequences.
The one Mantis guy, he's actually pretty badass. Put all your money on him. Anyway.
Don't bet on Scorpion.
It's on Scorpion. They can't win without cheating.
Yeah. The event that has happened is going to happen, and poor Matsuichi, he actually does finally take a seat next to you and looks up and says, he looks up to the women and says, I am sorry to keep you here, but I really do think that we should think this out much more carefully than the rest of the clan has. The tallest of the three women kind of leans in and says, this is going to be a very interesting year coming up.
Just out of curiosity, would I even know who this guy is, other than the fact that he's just part of the Mantis clan?
You don't know this guy from Adam, really. You have courtier skill or heraldry skill is how you would come across to get this kind of information. And so you don't have that available to you right now.
That's fine. I was just curious on that. He's not a big name. He's literally a nobody as far as I'm concerned.
What rank is he? He is rank... He's no one you've heard of before. He's not in charge of anything. He's just one of the Mantis Clan guys who decided to stay behind. And he moves on your part, besides butting into one conversation. You actually did a move.
The only ones that seemed offended by the maneuver to protect the Mantis Clan member was the Scorpion, right? Okay. Maybe some of the Crane, but mostly the Scorpion is the one main concern.
Did I make you roll the intelligence in courtier or perception in courtier? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I saw all the death glares looking at me, but you know what?
Oh, well, particularly, there's a difference between you and the Scorpion and the Mantis and the Scorpion.
16. Not bad.
Yeah, cool. Getting a 15 is a pretty decent number, honestly speaking. Unless you have to get something bigger and badder. Yep. 15 solves most of your problems. Here's what you notice. The Scorpion have a problem with him for some reason. Not like the situation, it's him they have a problem with. Which is actually relatively easy to spot. Then, you put out your feelers and you're like, why didn't I notice this before? It's so subtle, but it's one of those things that they're not trying to hide it super subtly.
Oh, I'm blatantly tonguing my cheek at him.
Him and the Scorpion are one thing. Right now, weirdly enough, the Crane actually feel... What's your intelligence rating? 2. Roll a random dice. This is random. You can roll your intelligence if you want to, but roll a random dice. 9? 9's a good number. You're trying to... What is this feeling that I'm getting off the Crane? They're feeling... And the fact that that crosses your mind makes you start thinking, the Crane are scared. The Crane are reacting with very well controlled, very honorable, but if you had to put a name to it, it would be fear.
Because there's the conflict with the Lion Clan. And what is the disposition between the Crane and Scorpion at the moment?
They're allies.
So the question is, if the Kitsune are leaving,
the Mantis,
who are they going to get help from? Because they're going to need help from someone, which means that they would be allied with one of the 3 large clans around them.
And weirdly enough, it looks like, to your eyes right now, it looks like the Phoenix are pitching in with the Mantis.
Which is fairly neutral, if I remember. Phoenix
is pretty much neutral with everybody.
Yeah, Phoenix is one of the most neutral clans out there. They're a clan of peace. Yeah. Except for one guy you know.
Yeah. I will try to also be kind of neutral or good towards the Kitsune, the representatives here.
Bridge the gap.
Yeah, bridge the gap. Let them know that I am not opposed to this. Mm-hmm. My clan, as far as I am aware, is not opposed to this. Mm-hmm. I will support it to the best of my ability. Mm-hmm. And I hope things go well for them.
What happens eventually, the Crane Clan delegate, his name is Doji Tatsumune, and he comes up and says, we are glad to hear of your decision and your newfound freedom. I and the Crane delegation would like to take this moment to step aside and discuss things in private amongst ourselves. May we do this? Yamagi looks up and says, there's actually an adjacent room to this audience chamber. If you wish a private conversation, you can, and still be within the same chamber walls. The one Crane bows, and a bunch of other Cranes rise from their seat. One of the Cranes actually, as everybody else files over to that one little room, 2 of the Crane actually stand, but kind of stay in their position. And one of the Cranes looks back, and the other one says, it's a Crane woman in Shigenja's robes. She lifts up 2 fingers and says, we are of such low rank that you will make the decisions. We will stay here, and we will keep your places. And they both bow. It's her and essentially a Yojimbo type. They both bow pretty deeply at the rest of the Crane as they depart. And after the Crane enter that room and close the door, then they bow again and sit down. And those two start whispering back and forth amongst each other as well.
Wait, perception?
Yeah, perception.
I guess I rolled 2 dice. Alright, 17.
So this is good enough. The Shigenji whisper says, "Don't worry, we're not being as brave as the other was."
I don't know. Is there a way to politely needle the
Scorpions?
Scorpions?
No.
Okay.
Do you have the courtier skill?
No. I don't.
Okay. That's required for political maneuvering.
All right. That's why I was curious. I didn't build this guy to do that.
Could I figure out why the Scorpion Clan are mad that Phoenix Clan is extending a safe harbor to the Mantis representative again? 'Cause it seems fairly normal for a Phoenix Clan member to offer something like that. But
Do you want to just go up and ask him? Because you're not part of a delegation, sir.
yeah, sure. I'll walk up.
Good day.
Hey, you know why the Scorpion Clan aren't too happy about you?
They broke off my engagement.
It's a petty one.
The characters aren't laughing. We're laughing. That was a good one.
I don't belong to a delegation, and I don't have to be polite if I don't feel like I need to be polite. And amongst friends, I say it.
I'm not even going to hold the bar. It's literally they broke off my engagement with my fiance.
Yeah, and I don't care much for the Scorpion. Really, I might be familiar with them, but
I was an avid supporter of them.
They like being political, and I really don't care much too about it. Mostly, I'm actually good at it. But I'd still like to make a sincerity willpower check about the situation.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing fine. Cool. You know what? No, I
am completely and utterly sincere.
I can't lie. I mean, if anyone reads me, they can tell that I'm actually distastefully enjoying the situation.
All right.
More than I should be. But that's also not very uncommon for a Ronin. Except what is uncommon about a Ronin is how politically savvy I am.
What happens at the end of this day today, to kind of wrap things up, I don't want to spend all day going through the minutia, right? This isn't C-SPAN, right? So when the Crane return, so my apologies for stepping out, they actually go take their seat. The Crane are seated next to the Scorpion, by the way. You then have across the Mantis, we're actually with the Kitsune. So they are in that center. So you're actually now sitting with the Kitsune Samurai for the most part, and the last 4 of the Mantis.
Yep. So I am politely happy about being smug. I'm now in the center of attention. I don't want to be in the center of attention, but you know what? Fuck it.
They celebrate this event. Yamagi points out who's going to be in charge of what. There's a local village, Meidochi, that's under the control of the Hare Clan. They're going to be extending very serious hands to the Hare Clan. They're such a small clan, they usually just keep to themselves. They don't show up in other people's courts at all, even the local Kitsune. Because this is a Mantis court until like a few seconds ago, right? But they do bring out wine and small hors d'oeuvres to celebrate the event. Yamagi is promoting quite a few samurai at that point during this ceremony, but it's all just, So after the main celebration, you do notice a few things. The Scorpion and the Crane stay with the Kitsune for the most part, but as the night does go on, you do notice that the Crane Clan delegation, the Scorpion Clan delegation, the Crane Clan delegation do have some speaking they do back and forth during the celebration. The Scorpion get up and retire to their room first. Jotaro does drop by and put a small slip of paper in front of you, and then he goes back with the rest of the Scorpion. That's a very exciting piece of paper, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming Jotaro's my friend, right?
Jotaro is your friend, and Rinako is your former.
Yeah, I'm going to slide that away so that nobody else from that particular clan sees it.
Yeah,
everybody else I don't give a crap about.
They leave. The unicorn actually follow your thing. They go and they actually talk with the lion for a little bit.
I'd join them if I could.
After the celebration, there is a gathering. The chief lion, the woman excuses herself and goes off to bed. The chief lion and the young man are there. The Shigenja and the Moto are there. You are there, and if you want to be there, you can be there too.
I probably will because I am the actual representative of the clan.
And this is a small meeting off the side. It's in a small room off the side. They're serving tea, so, it's going to be like a sit down and let's talk kind of session. The lion says to the unicorn, "You've been very supportful of us as of recently. This event benefits neither of us because the mantis needed to be strong to help us out. However, in another turn of events, the kitsune were not key to that strength growing. They're not farmers. They don't provide anything. They're just a clan of druids, essentially.
Actually, if anything, they were a detriment to the mantis.
They were the most inland holding of the mantis clan. That's all they really were. They had no real reason to be there. And they don't even serve as clan Shigenja. The Shigenja that the Yoritomo really want are from the Moshi family. And the Moshi family does sterling service in that regard. The kitsune are a nice touch. They're extra bodies. I don't see much more than that." And the unicorn says, "What's interesting is the choice to return to the Fox clan bodes well for the unicorn, only in that in ancient times, in ancient heritage, the unicorn clan and the Fox clan share a common ancestor in the clan of the Kirin. This makes this definitely something that we could enjoy, if not profit from. However, there is the problem of the mantis. They would be very helpful in the coming troubles." And the Moto kind of leans in and says, "Coming troubles are going to happen a lot faster if more of this keeps going on."
The only major thing I want to say about this is actually getting the kitsune away from the target because they were just a strategic drain on the mantis. In a way, this is a service of sacrifice.
"That's unique," says the Moto.
It is. It's a form of sacrifice.
Toramon strokes his beard, looks over.
I'm going to sit back and... just going to sit back.
"Let us agree on this then," says the older lion. He puts his teacup down and looks over at the unicorn. "The unicorn have been doing a very good job of keeping their clan in proper servicing point while we've been suffering the brunt of the political attacks of the scorpion and the crane. Please continue to do that. The lion are strong. We can weather this. But as to the Fox clan, we will watch with the idea that we will support the Fox clan as best as we can."
How close is the Fox clan lands to the Phoenix clan?
Almost on opposite sides of the nation. The only clan that's farther away from the Phoenix than the Fox are the Crab.
Crab and dragon?
No, the Dragon are next door.
Okay.
The Dragon and Lion are next door neighbors of the Phoenix.
The closest clan is the Scorpion and the Crane clan.
Yes. Crane on the other side of the mountains and farther to the south, because the Crane have this like little tail that comes down to the bottom. Mm-hmm. After that,
Lions is the third closest. Right?
No, you have to go through Scorpion territory to get to the Lion. The territory is the Wasp. It doesn't go through to the Lion clan side. If you hook all the way through it, it goes down the mountains on the other side through a thin pass, and you end up on the coast in Crane territories. The Crane actually do have the ability to shut the Mantis off from the Wasp if they want to.
Why are the Crane nervous about this separation?
That's a good question. Why are the Crane nervous?
I don't think I had picked up on the fact that the Crane are nervous about this.
You have the courtier skill, right? And you have
I had 1 point in Courtier.
courtier and perception. You rolled and you got that.
I don't.
You don't. So yeah.
I wouldn't think about it.
Did you have a 3 in perception though? Anyway, you can try to balls to the walls. It just grab 3 dice and fling it.
Yeah, no way.
12. Yeah. What's up?
I'm trying to think of what balance the Kitsune could have kept between the two clans.
The main balance that I can honestly think of, it's literally a flank that the Scorpion and Crane no longer have to defend. Because it's not a neutral territory.
That's not a bad thing.
No, but that's why they were worried about it, is it's now a neutral territory. It can be influenced by anybody, instead of being a potential ally.
Which the Mantis were kind of up in the air in general, right?
When it comes to the whole political situation, the Lion, Unicorn, and Crab were one side, and the Scorpion and the Crane were the other. The Dragon and the Phoenix and the Mantis, generally speaking, had ways to stay away from the BS.
So basically they're worried that because it's speaking now something unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
It's pretty late. A lot of people are turning in for the night. Did anybody want to do anything particularly before the nighttime rolled around?
It depends on how much free time I'd have.
Well, it depends when you want to get to sleep.
I mean, to read my letter.
Depends if you're drawing the spotlight.
Would I want to do that in front of people, or do I want to do that away? Probably away for people.
I think I'll write a letter.
To Saguaro?
Mm-hmm.
Explaining, have no clue what happened to me, but my God, it was interesting.
So you said this is 3 months earlier, right?
Yes.
So he's likely not started traveling to Winter Court yet?
He's probably actually just arrived. So Saguaro is probably rolling into Kyuden Asako, sorry, not Kyuden Asako, Kyuden Nagasha, saying, hey, by chance would there be a convention of engineering-style mines?
But it also would mean that likely that I haven't learned of his arrival, of his final choice of Winter Court yet.
Yeah, which is funny.
I learned in the middle of the court of the morning at the.
But you do.
But I do now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would try and recall what I wrote in my last letter. Probably. Everything's boring at Morning Glory Castle.
Yeah. Morning Glory Castle.
It sounds like you're having a ton of fun. I'll try and join you later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's one of those things.
So, yeah, I would write a letter discussing the unusual declaration at the recent events, and which would be peculiar since you will be soon receiving a letter from me from Morning Glory Castle, I think, in 2 places at once. This is a very peculiar sensation.
You just figured that out. Yeah, you are in 2 places at once. This has not detracted what's going on over in Phoenix Lands. That stuff still happened.
Yeah.
You're writing the letter. Both of you guys are going to make a perception and investigation roll.
Instead of sending letters to the Morning Glory Castle to send them.
Kyuden Kitsune. Yeah.
You said what? What?
Perception and investigation.
Oh, not bad.
What's up?
2 8s.
2 8, so a 16. Mm-hmm. Cool. You got a what?
23.
23. Nice. Okay. It is nighttime. You're finishing up. You're writing a light letter in your own thing. You could swear that someone walked past the wall. Because you know how there's rice paper walls inside the castle? Mm-hmm. Someone walked past your wall and was trying to not walk past your wall. Meanwhile, Akakyoku.
I think I would try and catch a glimpse of who it might have been, or what clan.
You can tell you're shifting gears and you suddenly realize, I felt like somebody walked past. Not here, but I felt. Servants don't do that. You can hear them. And the servants aren't moving in this hour of the night.
Okay, I sense somebody pretty much.
Yeah.
Do I have any hard evidence about this?
No, but now that you have this sensation, it's hard to let it go. Are you the kind of person who someone has just walked past my window with a crowbar?
Yeah, no. No one's... I'm going to get up and actually probably do a quick walk around.
You get to make a perception roll out your door.
10.
Okay. It looks like one of the servants. You're kind of doing one of those things where you kind of flick it and peek. It looks like you see the tail end of one of the servants. You don't see much more. They pass on the way there.
They look human.
Yeah, some human servant. Relatively hasty move, but they just gotta...
Time for our midnight stroll.
Any details you want to include on how you're leaving your room? Because this may mean something.
I'm assuming I'm not dressed for sleeping yet.
Exactly.
I'm going to probably grab my staff as I head out the door.
Not a bad idea.
Not really that worried about my bow right now, just because, one, I'm inside a freaking castle, and this is not the appropriate spot for a bow.
I have a small string or cloth I could, just something very unnoticeable, probably a string. I'll try and rip a small piece of paper.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
As I leave my door.
You do pad your door, and you said you were grabbing the staff.
I wouldn't have thought about barricading my door or anything, so I would agree just grab the staff. Walked out.
Mm-hmm.
I will blow out my candle. No, I'll blow out my candle and mark it. Like, not put a little notch at the top or something.
Okay, got it.
No weapons needed. I wouldn't. No one's planning anything nefarious during winter court.
Nefarious?
Yep.
Winter court?
Nah.
Really? What are these? The Fae?
Here is the fun stuff. Yeah, let's do this
For the most part, I actually also won't really be trying to hide.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I'm walking around.
I can imagine. After all, you're not sneaky.
Oh, one, I'm not sneaky. Two,
No, or sneaking. You're not trying to do anything nefarious yourself.
I know.
So as you're out there in the halls, make a perception plus alertness is not a thing. You know what? I am drawing a dumbass for a second here. You can roll investigation. If you have a high meditation, you can use 1 dice of it. If you have investigation, you'd probably use that instead.
Like 3 points. I only have 2 points of meditation.
I'll allow you to re-roll a single 1 instead of adding in a dice then of meditation. If there's any other skill that you want to offer up, tell me, but for the most part, it's perception plus investigation.
I roll 2, and I can get a 1 reroll.
Yes.
Where does the 9 and the 8 seem pretty good, so I'm going to stick with those.
Put him over here. Let me see him. He rolled.
I've been doing great on just raw perception checks, which is fantastic.
Yeah, 8 and 9. But as good as you can get without rolling 10s. And did you have your roll there?
10, 10, 1. Rolled a 10, which rolled into another 10. Which rolled into a 1.
So,
I had a 21 on one
So
die.
you can see the world.
son of a bitch, dude. And you're keeping 3 of those dice? But your 10, the 10, and the 1 are 1 dice.
Yeah.
Wow. Looking at what's going on, we have Matsuichi, who is exited here, and you are pretty much saying you wanted to go for a morning stroll. I'm assuming you were heading in on like a midnight stroll in the direction of the noise going in.
Yeah.
So you're here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your roll is high enough that even though you don't have direct line of sight contact, you can tell, one, someone else has emerged here, and someone else has took a hook over into here for half a second and they've stopped.
I'm not being quiet.
You're gonna walk over there?
No, I'm lingering at the door for a second because I'm setting up a check.
Okay.
I'm going to literally just walk out, look at the guy. Cat got his head sticking out. Like, you heard that too?
No, so what basically what you see me doing is I'll be outside the door and you like playing with the top.
Yeah,
of the
like I
door
said.
as I click and look
looking
over.
over you. So you heard it too?
What? Oh, I noticed. No, yeah, I noticed something. Something usually happens, right?
That way.
Do you have your staff with you?
Yes. I have my staff with me.
There is a sliding door sound after you guys spoke. What did you guys do now?
We'll take a look around the corner.
Yeah. I'm going to look at the way that I
You heard the sound?
heard somebody go.
Yep. I'll walk into instead. I won't sneak around the corner. I'll walk to the middle of the hall and take a look down.
I was going to say, I'm not trying to be sneaky. If one of the local guards sees me out this time of night, I expect to be challenged. So, being sneaky is just a great way to get stabbed first.
Yes. El correcto. You swore you heard like a sound of a door opening there, but there's no one there right now.
Can I see how many doors are on that hallway?
Smart guy. Door there. Door there. And there's a door on the opposite side here, but that doesn't seem to be... You got 3 different doors. One's really close to you, one's farther off.
I couldn't really tell from the sound on distance, just around the corner.
But you can tell they made somewhere in the vicinity of like 8 to 12 footsteps.
Well, I'd be looking at the 2 doors straight across from each other.
So, yeah, this boy and this boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can go check out those. Which one do you pick first?
Can I tell if one's been opened recently?
Ooh, perception plus investigation.
This roll sucked. 17. With 2 ones thrown in.
Do you want me to see it? Let us display the suck here. Yeah.
That roll kind of sucked.
Look at the suck. All that suck. Yeah, you got a 5 there, right?
2 5s and 9.
I think I rolled some of your dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty reactive to that, so.
Yes, it is fairly reactive.
I remember whose quarters are approximately in that direction.
Well, have fun. If you really want to spend a void point, you can add a void point to it to have 3 dice instead of 2, but
Yeah, I'll roll a void point. Why not?
Let's see this. Let's see
Bad.
this. I knocked one over. This is what happens when you want to do something and the dice say
No.
no. So that's like a 5?
That was a 7 total.
Oh, so total.
You do get the one you get the void point you actually get, right? You
get the die.
You get the die as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So I get all 3 dice because it's the 2 intelligence and the void point. So you get 3 dice.
Were it not for that void point, you would have actually rolled a botch on intelligence, a 2 on 2 dice. That's exceptionally low rolling. Sorry to be a dork. Which door are you going after again?
I'm going to probably go for the interior door first.
This one?
Can I tell if they've been opened or not?
Double checking. You don't know of a way to really check to see if they've been opened because they're sliding doors.
Yeah.
Unless someone left them ajar. That you can tell someone may have left them ajar in the first place, but it's one of those things where you can't really kind of tell. So
And it also depends on how well it's been cleaned.
yes.
Because if they have a thorough cleaning service, you ain't going to tell squat. Because sometimes those sliding doors leave dust trails of when they've been opened or closed.
With 17, all you can tell for sure is that this door, means something. What were you thinking about doing?
I kind of want to be a little covert, but I don't want to, look like I'm being a pervert or something. So I'm going to crack the door a little bit.
Make an agility roll.
Oh dear.
Basic agility.
998.
A 9, and an 8. Yeah, that does it.
What's the equivalent of Sherlock Holmes in Rokugan?
The best investigators in the Empire are the Dragon Clan Kitsuki. Oh, hilarious fuck. Check this out, guys. This character rolled so many 1s. Oh my...
Did they just, botch?
No, they still keep it to the dice. They just not get the ones.
They didn't get 15. All those 1s. 9, 9, and 8. That's 18. Yeah, that's a 26 versus their attempt to detect you of 14. You crack it open. One of the servants is poking through a drawer that servants usually wouldn't be poking through. And it's very shadowy in there. You can't really tell what's going on.
I am not a confrontational man. I am not a confrontational man. I will not hit this guy over the head first. I'm going to slowly slide it open.
Mm-hmm.
Tap the staff on the ground. I don't think that's your drawer, friend.
Oh, bitch! Okay. Matsuichi, I'm assuming you're there right now, right?
Yeah, I'm not inside. I'm at the just out of the door, standing amused.
So you're there, right? And he is literally doing the Bishamonten standing at the gate thing. And there is over here. So. Oh, and you also see, because the light is streaming into the room now. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I am not being quiet when my confrontation. So in case there is somebody else here.
You might be woken up.
Okay, I'm not being loud, but I'm not being quiet.
As if there's someone sleeping in there.
Hey! Hey!
Is there?
Hey! Let's have some fun!
Oh dear.
Is there someone sleeping in this room that the servant was quiet enough to get around?
Oh dear.
9 and a 5. There is a Mantis Clan dude who, next to some bottles. Okay, this guy's going to make a stamina check.
Wake up from alcohol-induced stupor.
He's thrashing around. He's like, so he's not doing too well. You know what's going to happen? We can roll some actual initiative. Want to have some fun?
Oh dear.
Ready for some boogie, guys?
This is where I show my complete and utter ineptitude as a warrior.
Which is something that we don't have in the realm of Matsuichi. 2 dice. Oh my god.
I'm going to roll another die.
2?
Okay.
Is it based off your, agility you add to this or something?
You add take a d10, you add, I think it's your reflexes, and then you add any bonus that actually adds to initiative.
Okay, so 7.
Okay, I see that, yeah. The Phoenix guy is rocking. Reflex is 2, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's rocking a 5. And it dials up to a 7 with that reflexes of 2 kicking in there. Was it 3 or 2?
2.
2.
Why is it +3 +3? Is it because
3 reflexes, 3 because the Aijitsu rank is added to your initiative as your initial skill.
As my school, yeah.
Yeah. The only skill rank you'll ever have.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got an 18. So.
Yep. 18 +6.
Some bitch. So 18 plus 6 is fuck you, little guy. I'm going first.
24.
Now here's the problem. Technically, there is someone standing in the way of you getting to that servant if you want to do something about it.
Can I?
But you definitely go first. So what we're going to do is you're going to declare an action after I declare what happens and after he declares what happens, so you can do what you can do with highest initiative. That's the thing about role-playing games. Declaring first is a weakness. So rolling high initiative and going first can be a weakness. You're going to declare after we declare. Then you'll act first after you declare. Does that sound good?
Okay, so I'm telling everyone what I'm doing, and then
No. Everyone else is going to do stuff. Then you'll declare what you're doing, and then you'll act first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because otherwise,
Lowest by low declare first.
yeah. Otherwise, it's just going to go.
Lowest initiative
So
declares.
basically, I get to see what everyone's about to do, and then I can act.
Yeah.
Yes. This one dials up to a 11.
I've stated what I've done, so I'm just, I am prepared to defend myself, but that's it. I will stand aside slightly, so indicating that this guy can leave if he wants to be polite about it.
So you're going to stand aside.
Mm-hmm.
There is a
way.
weird whistling sound. What do you do as a result of hearing the weird whistling sound?
Yeah, I wouldn't know if it's him or not, because I purposely decide not to be seen. I can tell where it's from, right?
Yes, it's from inside the room. It's generating from inside this room. It's weird whistling sound. I'm doing it poorly.
I'm about to get hit by a blow dart.
Do I know the action? Oh, and you just are just letting him pass.
Yeah, you're declaring.
I've declared what I do.
So I'm gonna basically kick you as I grab your staff and just force you to get down.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to grab the staff.
I'm gonna take a staff. Yeah, I can tell that he doesn't know what he's doing, so I'm just like, I need a weapon. Sorry, get out of the way.
That's fine.
Go ahead and roll a...
I'm not incompetent.
Roll strength plus defense, as weird as it is, because you're dealing directly with a guy who's in a defensive stance. Strength plus defense.
Cool. I have 2 defense, so I roll 4 dice. No, I only keep 2. It's going to be 2 8s, so 16.
Looky,
Do I have
it's
to
a
make
16.
an opposed? Honestly, I'm not sure if I would make an opposed at this because I'm not expecting him to actually do anything.
You might enjoy this, as weird as it sounds.
No,
So-
it's like
Okay, so you got that situation going on. And then I'm going to roll something because I got to roll something.
Does someone open the door on the other side and get darted?
Uh...
Oh, why not?
No.
No.
that would just be absolutely hilarious.
That would be a classic scene.
Well. There's that weird whistling sound. You know there's that door on the opposite side? You see this weird flicker happen in the paper above the door. In the center of the door, where there's like that wooden cross where you can grab it and pull it open, something goes thunk and sticks there. And just below it, there's this flicker that kind of just appears
Stars.
in the door. You see one of them actually landed. There is literally a 5-edged star there, made of metal, black metal.
That was not fun.
Can I take the staff and enter into
Yep. All yours.
It's already mine. I'm entering into a duel.
All right.
stance.
Okay, so you're going to deal a stance with the staff, right?
Yep.
Cool. So, do you want to roll another round of initiative?
Sure.
You saved his ass. You, okay. Da.
5 total.
You are not the Lord of Initiative, are you?
I've got 1 die,
only rolled a
and
9.
I've got a
A 9?
friggin' 2
Yep.
in
So 9
reflexes.
plus 6, 15.
Oh, that's good enough. And you got a 7 again, right?
I got a 5 total.
5 total, so 3 plus 2.
Yeah.
Wow, someone here just does not enjoy speed. You're probably knocked over on the ground, which is why your initiative's so damn low. Matsuichi. The servant has crouched on one side, and they're starting to make some fancy footwork. And I'm assuming you're armed with the staff and ready to go.
Yep.
What's up? You're up first.
I don't remember the details of like going into a Ayajutsu stance or going into a dueling stance.
The dueling stance is used as ritual warfare. To use it in combat, you still have to perform positioning on your own. So you can return your sword to your scabbard, and then you can run up to somebody, and as you pass them or run into them, you can then flick your sword into them using the techniques you know. However, this operation is usually not what most people do because Aijutsu is a ritual skill.
I also may use Ayajutsu in place of Kenjutsu. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just use like a normal sword
my
skill.
Ayajutsu is higher than my Kenjutsu. So I will use Ayajutsu instead of Kenjutsu, try and... I'm going to break this guy's arm.
Okay. With the staff. Now here's the problem. The staff is a full-fledged pole arm, essentially,
Yep.
not a sword. You'll use your technique, but what you can do is modify it. Do you have any pole arm style skill?
Oh, no. But it's not as heavy as a pole arm, right? It's not...
Yeah, it's a staff.
It's a staff.
Yeah.
Technically, you could swing it like a no-dachi, but you know for a fact no-dachi is not a Aijutsu weapon. Therefore, you default to your Kenjutsu. But it's not a sword, so you can't really use your Kenjutsu. But if you want to pretend it's a boken for the time being, it's a no-dachi boken, that will further reduce your skill. Do you have Kenjutsu at a rank more than 1?
Yes.
Oh, you actually...
Kenjutsu 2 and Ayajutsu 3, yeah.
Cool. He actually spent money on Kenjutsu. Good one. I'll let you roll 1 additional dice, which is just 1 dice you get from improvising Kenjutsu with a freaking stick.
Yep. And it uses my agility. That'll be 4 dice. Alright, I keep 3, which will be...
Nine.
Nope, sorry, not 20.
Yeah, that's 20.
Yeah, it's 20.
That's fine.
Is it a 9? Oh,
Yeah.
it is a 9. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought it was a 6 for a second.
Nice. Strength plus 1, keeping 1. Staffs are not very effective kiting weapons.
Okay.
This is a
That's the
damage roll.
Yeah.
Damage codes are different because they depend on the weapon.
Here we go.
Oh, dude!
So 1 dice will be a 18, and the other die will be a 15. I will take the 18.
So what happens is Matsuichi walks up and clocks this motherfucker in their outstretched arm and connects for some damage. Give me a second. You said 18, right?
Yeah.
There's 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, and that's 16, right?
Yep.
17 to 18 is 2, right? So -0, -1, -2, -3, -4. They are -4 dice to their actions. Oh boy. Crack! You hear a woman go, meep! You can tell she's trying to like restrain from like screaming, but the meep was still pretty pathetic. So she's trained enough she doesn't just blurt out when you hit her, which is a sign of something. You're now in darkness with some light trickling in from the door. You are in it close with this critter who you've put down to rolling 1 effective dice.
That was a very good roll.
Yeah.
You only have 1 dice to roll with it. Might as well freaking try. 9. Not bad. Not.
Is there a target number to be hit, right?
Yeah, and honestly speaking, they needed to like a minimum of 10. Go ahead.
My reflexes plus my...
They were trying to perform a technique, not a thing against
Okay.
you. It was something they were going to do, and the target number to do that was 10. They screwed it up pretty bad. You have thwomped. They have tried whatever. It's dark. You can't tell what they were doing.
Like I said, I'd be getting up something.
You can get up and do something. Right.
Can I get up there and try to dogpile the assassin?
Sure. Not an assassin. No one's died yet.
Okay, the assailant.
Okay. Well, funny is the only person who's been attacked is the door. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and roll. Do you have like agility and athletics of any kind?
Defense?
You're non-athletic, aren't you?
No, I'm a medic.
You know what I'm gonna do though? They have like shit
I'm
dice.
assuming that my medicine might work because what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to incapacitate them.
No, if you're trying to incapacitate them medically, here's what you can do. You have the defense skill, right?
Yeah.
So you can keep yourself from being screwed up. Here's the funny thing. You have the Kenjutsu skill, right?
Yeah.
Kenjutsu can be practiced by putting your arms out like that and doing like, kata with your bare hands. It's not considered effective use of like, your hands for like, various different sword skills. Mm-hmm. But you can try to impersonate. You can use one dice, and only one dice here, Kenjutsu skill. And here's the thing. You're going to pretty much be rolling. What you're going to do is you're going to be rolling agility. And then if you roll bad enough, I will let you roll a single dice for,
So just 3d10?
3d10. And then if it rolls bad enough, I'll let you roll an additional d10 and we can compensate with that.
That would be a 10. For 16 base. And the 2 would become...
So 19?
19.
19.
Oh, do you keep 3?
Yeah, I keep 3. My agility is 3.
Oh, they're down to -4 dice. They can't do much. They attempt to get out of the way of him, and weirdly enough, goes right into you. Guess where your dogpile direction is?
Onto the guy with...
onto the guy in his bottles. So you end up... There's like this gotcha sound, and one guy's like, I'm trying to fucking sleep!
Can I attempt to restrain this person?
You hear motion in the halls.
Oh, I'm gonna set the staff down on the side of the... This combat's already over. I don't have a weapon.
Okay, there's gonna be another round of initiative because it's weirdly enough not over yet. She's trying to resist your restraint.
Okay.
She has void points too.
2 10s again.
Holy shit! You're going first. Don't even worry about rolling more.
So 25.
Oh my god.
And a 12.
Okay.
I'll take the 25.
Okay. Bitch rolled 25. And God looked down and said, wow, you are a time traveler. Okay, because you just show up where you want to. You know you're drawing well when you drop a 12 on a d10. You get to go first. What was your roll for initiative?
10.
You're a 10. She gets to roll. She still gets to roll 1. So she... 9.
Sorry, 31.
So she technically gets to go first. She's trying to wriggle out. You can tell she's not using her hands. She's trying to roll out from underneath him.
And there's commotion outside the door?
Not outside the door, but there's sounds in the halls of movement in the halls.
She wants to wriggle out.
Yes.
It's dark in the room, though, right?
Yes.
So it's hard to tell what's going on.
It's dark, and there's no light switch. This is a medieval.
I can't. There's now 2 people grappled, so I'm going to walk to the... Are the walls made of paper or wood in this? Or is it just the doors are made of...
I hate to say it, you can't actually jump through Icy Roll Hall. It's a bitch for the servants, but...
I'll go to the door and flag down guard, or see who's coming towards our direction.
You don't see any guards when you get here and look around, but there sounds like there's someone coming from, like, here. Waka.
I'll call out, yeah.
Guard.
Guards, commotion over here.
She gets to roll with a void point. Rolls like ass. Check this out, guys. Spent a void point. Rolled an 8. Mm-hmm. You might as well try to roll high on a single d10.
I was going to say straight strength.
You get to roll strength, and you get to go ahead and roll straight strength. You're trying to beat an 8, dude.
Wow.
You're rolling like ass.
I literally rolled a 7. Wait, I have lucky.
You have lucky. Use luck.
Is that reroll 1 or...
Reroll all.
9.
So you rolled a 9, which beat her 8 by 1 point. Mm-hmm. How about luck? You won it by 1 point.
I'll take it.
She is restrained, but having like this flopping carp technique thing happening right next to this guy's bed. And at this point, in the dark, you've seen him just in like the very dim light you have. He's got, I was like, what is going on here?
She's also got a broken arm, which is not a happy situation for them.
Oh, I'll fix that too.
The guards show up with lanterns and spears and man catchers. They just gather around with their lanterns. They got man catchers pretty much on you and the suspect, but you roll out of the way so they can use their man catchers.
Kindly do not kill the person.
They start to realize they happen to capture a girl. One of the girl samurai amongst the Kitsune samurai comes and pretty much shakes her down, restrains her, that kind of stuff.
I want to take a look at the other guy and see how he's doing. He probably has one hell of a headache.
Yeah, the one mantis guy was like, I am trying to forget.
Well, in that case, here, have another drink.
All right. The guards actually ask you what happened while you're talking to the mantis guy. What was going on?
We heard a weird commotion past our door. We went to... Well, I decided to go for a stroll.
Shuriken! Shuriken! One of the guards is like, there's shuriken in the door!
Yep.
Please continue, he says.
I encountered our mutual friend, and he went to investigate a disturbance. I decided to indulge my curiosity, followed him. When he went to check on his friend, he discovered a servant rifling through items, and then before the servant attacked, I interceded and I took a swing. Commotion happened afterwards.
Well, that works. We'll take that explanation. The guards are actually asking the Mantis guys, like, this is your room, so someone's trying to break into your room in particular. I don't know what's going on. My head hurts.
Crushing a little bit of aspen bark.
Yeah. Not a bad idea, actually. Eggs. Eggs plus aspen barks plus a little bit of alcohol. Warm alcohol.
Take this, relax, go back to sleep.
The poor guy who is sleeping, his suffering will eventually get abated by your intercession of herbs. The servant that got captured is of very interesting importance to all the guards now, because the guards are looking over the servant and like, we recognize you. We recognize you.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off. She's a freaking scorpion.
You don't have it pegged, but you're pretty sure that her face matches the face of one of the minor servants that was with the scorpion.
Almost no one ever looks at the servants.
Well, it was just a espionage mission, probably, so it wasn't really like
I said,
any major skill. I am also playing down my involvement in the situation.
Cool. That way,
I want to make it play off as like a lucky hit, not.
It was a lucky hit.
Well, I mean, it was kind of a lucky hit, but.
All right, guys. The guards are very thankful you did what you did, because they thought someone was poking around but couldn't find her. They were in a different part of the castle. Did you want to help investigate the person they captured?
Yes.
Because you are an investigator.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and roll perception investigation versus whatever I'm rolling here. Keeping all of it.
8, 16.
So you're keeping this
3.
one, this one, and this one. Yeah. That's 21 versus that. 22? Yeah. She beat you by 1 point. As much as you try to get information about who she was and what she was doing, here's one thing that the Kitsunes put their head together, and they include you in this one. We're not going to immediately put this on the Scorpion's shoulders. The Scorpion will A, notice that they are missing a servant, and B, they will probably come looking for the servant. We are not going to make this into something bigger than it is.
It also could be something else. She could be a spider in disguise.
We don't know.
Exactly.
Once we figure things out, then we'll be able to take action from there.
Sorry, I couldn't help more.
Good news is the Kitsune have a decent investigator on hand, not like a great guy. This one girl has a 6K3 in their investigation. She's more of a very aware person, to say the least. She also rolled better.
Yeah.
By far. That blows it out of the park before I even re-roll anything. Grabbing that 3. Good looking dice. Do good for us. Fat 30. She has come to her own conclusions. Sadly, you were involved, but she's sharing her conclusions with Kitsune clan people. So, I hate to say it, as bad as it sounds, you don't get to know what she found out.
That's understandable. That's how investigators work.
Observation is key.
I'm probably going to go to bed at this point.
I'm already in bed. My reply to the investigation was better if I don't know.
I will offer to treat that girl's arm if she's still alive.
She's still alive. They're not letting anybody touch her. That the Kitsune can handle her. I'm going to go ahead and switch the gear a little bit here. 2 days later, Scorpion Clan delegation appears before Winter Court. They announce that they will essentially be a quick sabbatical. Since no snow has fallen yet, hey, down south, right? They are taking a move toward the Humble Priest Village. They're going to make some contacts there. But pretty much everybody on the U2 and the Kitsune know that the Scorpions try to pull something. There was a question that you guys could have asked, and I don't know if you want to give yourself one last save what that question is.
I don't know if I really want to be put in that position, so no.
Any good guesses from Matsuichi?
Does curiosity be strong enough for this? Because I know the question that as a player I want to know, or find out if it was answered. But
how to say it in character.
they wouldn't answer that question. So, he's gonna ask the Kitsune, did you guys find out what she was looking for?
Well, she broke into one of the Mantis Samurai's quarters. As it was, of course, the quarters that belonged to Kaiten before he stomped off. The fact that the room was essentially borrowed up next rank to the one remaining Mantis Clan guy, the chest was the one that was kept there all this time by the Mantis Clan ambassador, does mean something. Things trickle downhill. There are Scorpion Clan members who leave to go to Humble Priest Village to take care of something, and we don't necessarily see them coming back. Jotaro is willing to talk with Akakyoku about various things. Also, the Crane Clan decide, for this time, we are going to back out of having an active hand in any kind of major activities here. We will be an observer. We don't want to be further involved in things until they always get sorted out. So we are going to play a secondary role. And it's weird to hear the Crane say that. Some of the Crane, though, do decide to take up a sabbatical and head south to Kyuden Suzume. The Sparrow Clan fortress down there is allied to the Crane, marginally so.
I have a really nasty retort to the Crane Clan's announcement. I don't know if I've made any close friends.
Do you want to tell him?
We're gonna play it safe. We're gonna probably go around and see other allies. And my reply is pompous pricks.
That sounds oddly personal.
I shrugged it off.
Mm-hmm. As the session ends, you guys discovered something that was supposed to not be uncovered got uncovered. And as a result of that, multiple different factions decided to just pull out of Kyuden Kitsune, which makes people go, So you wanted to, have a hand in the Winter Court down here in Kyuden Kitsune, but now that this one incident happens, you're wanting to stand back a little bit and not do as much. Funny choice of actions there, sir.
The two major political players just backed out
Yeah.
of the entire courts. That is not fun, but...
The daimyo Kitsune Yagami does throw this feast. It's to honor those who have decided to stay and enjoy the Winter Court. And so the feast is literally just a friendship feast where everybody can sit down and enjoy each other's company. Mm-hmm. This session ends here, but there's one thing you do know. The Kitsune are talking amongst themselves because things are in motion and they're not quite exactly sure who is pushing things in motion. 3 experience points apiece. You get 3 more.